share this with a couple of folks, and then we're going to talk about. I need this link here. Oh no, that don't look so great. What's going on there? YouTube, Red app. Why that thing look a little fuzzy? Look a little fuzzy wuzzy. Red link. Oh yeah, yeah. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for pulling up. If I haven't greeted you yet, I salute you. Thanks for pulling up on this lovely Sunday evening. We will talk about um, the not so secret art of getting out of your own way. That's actually an ebook I created a few years ago. It's called The Not So Secret Art of Getting Out of Your Own Way. That's so crazy. I actually like completely forgot about it. Um, yes, happy Valentine's weekend to you beautiful people. So I'm actually inviting some folks to pull up. So give me just a momento, please. And we're going to discuss. Let me close this because the echo is kind of creepy. Oh, say less. Uh, just inbox me and I'll email it to you. It's an ebook. Say no more, family. You family. I got you. Say less. Just email me. Excuse me. Just message me and remind me. I'll send that to you. That's a layup. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. I'm actually sending this invite out to a couple of folks. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see here. Appreciate you. Appreciate the likes as well. You guys rock. So there's four people in here. Who else is in here besides She Ready and myself? Who else is in the room? Teresa, you still here? Uh-oh. Now it's popping. Five of us. Who else is in here? Wait, talk to me. Say what up. Let's see. Just send this to a couple more folks. Sheila's in here. Teresa's in here. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? So we are live on the Red app, YouTube, as well. If you haven't connected with me over there, it's the Coach Reese Experience or Reese Inspire, same difference. Please do, because we're building something awesome together, and I appreciate you, fine folks. All right, I sent that out to a few peoples, and now, all right, let's talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is getting out of your own way. Kathy, what's up, family? Getting out of your own way. Getting out of your own way. As I said, I have an ebook that I created a couple years back called the Not So Secret Art of Getting Out of Your Own Way. I was very intentional with that title. And there's no secret. And if it is a secret, I'm going to expose it. There's no secret that the biggest enemy of our progress is ourselves. There are a lot of people, places, and things that are often presented to us that we use as an excuse not to move forward. But if we have the courage to be honest with ourselves, the truth, the fact of the matter is, the only thing standing between me and my goals is me. The only thing stopping me from taking the next right step is me. The only person that even has the power to stop me is me. And so, if we find the courage to really buy that, to really believe that, it can be a gut punch initially. However, once you get past that gut punch, once you shake that off, it's a really, 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 really empowering belief. Think about it. I believe that the only thing standing between me and my goals is me. Then what does that mean? It means that I have the power to, right? It means I don't have to wait on, I appreciate you, family, you're the best. Means that I have the power to, right? Nothing, there's like, so even the things that I have standing in front of me, yeah, it does because it's streaming. Appreciate that. So, because, oh, even if I have identified or made a list of, or I readily in my mind see people, places, and things stopping me from moving forward, it's just in my head and it's something I have control over, those people, places, and things are actually not the reason I'm not moving forward. They're actually not the obstacles that are in my way. It's 100% me. And this is not a popular idea. It should be a more popular idea because it's the truth. However, it's not. We live in a world where excuses are at a premium, and we live in a world where people build relationships around excuses, where we have the group that says, hey, I never had, or I'm in this situation, or I went through this. And then we all kumbaya around that excuse as if that excuse actually has the power to stop us from moving forward. As if it actually has the power to stop us from moving forward. There's literally nothing stopping us from moving forward. Let me give you some examples, right? I got a friend of mine who lost 183 pounds. He decided his way to almost 400 pounds. And then he started working with a player and woke up and decided his way down. He done lost a whole person. He lost a whole person. And he thought that, he had a list of reasons why he was in the situation that he was in. And we worked on it. And he couldn't argue with the facts, but he had the courage to sit with them. And as we had these healthy conversations, it got to a point where it was like, okay, let me just try this, right? Right, wrong, or indifferent. Let me try. Let me give it a go, as I like to say. Let me just give it a go. And his willingness to give it a go, right, caused him to start making some different choices and making some investments in himself. And over the course of the last year and a half, and he didn't have surgery, right? He literally made some lifestyle changes. So, right, who would think that? Okay, what if? Yeah, thank you. I'll pass that along. In fact, he'll see this. He'll see this video, and here's something. Right? Imagine a person who dropped out of high school, never went back to school, educating themselves, reading, writing, building themselves up. First starting with the Bible, and then literally textbooks and different writings and educations, and building themselves up to a point where they publish books and journals and travel the world speaking, educating, reading, writing, and teaching for a living. And the only formal education they have, some schooling, but a GED from Job Corps. This person is changing lives on a day-to-day basis. And this person, he's educated himself so much so that people will argue with him that that's not the truth, that that's not his story. And I know it's the truth. I know it's his story because I'm him. And it's crazy. People really, I used to work at different places and people would really argue with me because I was always a leader. I was, I taught myself I became well spoken. Um, and, and people would really argue, but on paper, I have a GED from Job Corps. Shout out to anybody who's been to Job Corps back in the day. However, I get paid to speak. I literally read, write, and teach for a living. That's my calling. That's my mission. And so imagine, imagine, right? Thank you, family. Imagine me thinking that I couldn't write a book. I couldn't teach for a living. I couldn't, right, be obedient, do the things that God told me to do because I didn't have the proper, right? Because certain boxes weren't checked, certain things weren't in place. Me not having a formal education did not stop me from having a couple of books published. Me not having a formal education doesn't stop me from literally speaking for a living. And so why am I sharing that? Because there are some things that you have a desire to do. There are some things that you've told yourself you didn't have access to because of plug in what you will, and it's all lies. Thanks, family. Thanks for tapping in. It's all lies. I'm gonna say that again. It's all lies. It's it's a lack of a healthy relationship with yourself, and it's you've bought into the lies that the people, places, and things around you have sold you, and now you have this poor self-image, right? You have this weak belief in yourself. You don't see yourself as awesome. You don't realize just how phenomenal you are. You've forgotten what you've accomplished thus far, and you've forgotten about your skills and abilities, your gifts, your talents. You've forgotten about how awesome you are, and you've bought into the lies. And I want to challenge those lies this evening because, again, there's literally nothing stopping you from moving forward. Someone used to say, change your story, change your life. Change your story, change your life. What does that mean? That means there's a story that you are constantly telling yourself about yourself, and it causes you to move through the world in a particular way. It causes you to move through your world as if you're less than, as if you're unworthy, as if you're undeserving of your next level, of the dreams and the goals and the desires that you want. And if you can change that story, which you absolutely can, you can change your life. Change your story, change your life. It's the absolute truth, family. And so, what we have to do is we have to begin with honesty, right? We have to begin with honesty. And we have to challenge the the narrative that plays on repeat in our head. See, we want to move in a particular direction, and then the record starts to play. How you gonna do that? Who are you to do that? You don't have this, you don't have that. And well, last time you tried to do this happens. This. And so now this story is playing. What's up, family? This story is playing in your head, and now we get stuck in that. And it's like, no, if I can challenge that story, and I can really I can rewrite that story, which we can in real time. And we don't have to wait for anyone's permission. We don't have to wait until we have a couple more degrees. We don't have to prove anything to anyone but ourselves. And the way that we prove it is by literally rewriting that story. And we do it in real time. So if the story says you can't do that, and you say, watch me, the story has just been rewritten. If you literally that simple. If the story says, well, that's not going to work, and you say, of course it will. Maybe not the first time, maybe not the first 27 times. Oh, but I'm willing to do it 27 times. I'm willing to get it wrong 27 times so that I can get, because no, of course I can do this. Look. If Susie and Sally can do it, of course I can do it. What do you mean I can't do it? But we make the mistake of believing the story that we tell ourselves. And it's interesting because we will blindly believe any story that downgrades us. We will blindly believe any story that paints us as less than, or the victim, or incapable, or right, paints us as a B or C player. But the moment someone like myself comes along and says, no, of course you can, you absolutely can do that, why not you? Yes, you can. You have gifts, you have talents, you have skills, you have abilities. So what? You've got it wrong. So what? You put yourself in this goofy, terrible position. You can turn that thing around literally right now in a heartbeat, and you don't need anyone's permission to do so. But when I come along and say and start speaking life into you and start challenging you to do better and be better and encouraging you and remind you of the potential that you have, you want to beef with me. You want to argue with me. You want to cross the street when you see me coming. You want to hurry up and swipe away from my posts because you know my posts aren't full of fluff. My posts are going to say, yes, you can. My posts are going to talk to you about loving yourself and about showing up for yourself and about being a friend to yourself and about being on your own side. And it's just, it's sad. Again, I'm gonna say that it's really sad that that's the state of affair. That's the state of the world. We don't, we want 99 pieces of evidence to go with the encouragement, but we'll believe the discouragement. We'll buy that. I mean, we'll buy that sight unseen. But when the encouragement comes, you want 26 letters of recommendation. You want what do we used to say in church? We need confirmation. Why do you need confirmation? Think about that. I was in the ministry for almost 20 years, and people would say that, and I would laugh because think about it. We only need confirmation when it's forward progress involved. Think about it. I'm just looking for confirmation. I used to be like, what are you talking about? You didn't need confirmation. You don't need confirmation to do none of the negative stuff. You don't need confirmation not to believe in yourself. You don't need confirmation to lie, cheat, steal, quit, to cut corners, to play small. You don't need confirmation to do that. But when it's time to step up, when it's time to love yourself, when it's time to move in the direction you need to move, when it's time, right? When it's time to believe, when it's time to embody the beliefs that are being taught here every day. Exactly, family. When it's time for something positive, when it's time for growth and development and transformation, when it's time to shed that old skin and step into this new higher expression of yourself, now you need 17 confirmations. Think about that. Think about how poor our relationship with ourselves has to be that we need proof, and we need proof on top of proof on top of proof on top of proof that we're worthy of growth, that we're worthy of our next level, that we're worthy of healing, that we're worthy of transformation, that we're worthy of a good person. Think about that. Think about the self-hate. How much do I hate me that I reject encouragement so much? It's like, wow, what did I do to me? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. He done messed around and said something. What did I do to me over the course of my life that I've gotten to a place where I don't believe encouragement. I don't believe positive things about me. But I blindly will take on and embody the beliefs that are negative. If someone tells me, "Oh no, you ain't ready for that," it's almost like we're relieved when we hear that, and we flock to it. We flock to those people who we'll complain about it, but we'll be attached to them. We'll complain about it, but we'll keep putting ourselves in their space because what they're speaking aligns with what we truly believe about ourselves. And it keeps us small. It keeps us in a box. And then again, you bump into me in the supermarket and I'm saying, wow, there's something special about you. I don't know what it is. When I turn down this aisle, and I don't want to be too deep and spooky, but wow, you have an amazing aura. What type of work do you do? What do you do for a living? Okay, that's what you do for a living. Where's your heart? Where's your passion? What do you, right? What lights you up? All right, now, I know that's how you pay your bills, but what's your thing? What? What's that about? We have to see acknowledgement, recognition, awareness comes first, right? Happened to me last evening. We've all been there. I'm not throwing stones. We've all been there. I find myself there at times. I have to be careful. And so we have to make sure that we challenge these beliefs, because if not, we'll keep ourselves in the box and then we'll blame the people, places, and things around us. So, wow, man, what have I done to me? Have I lied to me that much? That's beautiful. So, the comment says, a stranger told me I embodied something that made her self reflect and she admired me. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So, that's something that I love, and I say this all the time. I like being around people who make me want to stand up tall, who make me want to stand on my tippy toes. That's what that person told you. Your presence, there was something about you that made them say, whoa, wait a minute. That made her want to take a look in the mirror, that made her want to challenge her beliefs, that made her want to do better, be better, that made her say, wow, you know what? See, this is where envy and hatred and jealousy comes from, because we have something about us that challenges people, and sadly, people aren't mature enough to articulate it the way this young lady articulated it. Most people, they'll just roll their eyes, they'll just look at you funny, they'll just say, "Who does she think she is?" and all the things. And we can't let that move us. We got to keep showing up and keep bringing our awesomeness everywhere we go, and keep walking tall and strong, right? And continue to embody the beliefs. What's up, family? Continue to embody the beliefs that we know are true. And so, yeah, so no more 17 confirmations, no more I need 32 people to confirm what God said to me and about me. You don't need all that. Just get up and move. You don't need that, because again, you didn't ask for all that confirmation when it was on the negative side. You didn't ask for that. You didn't need anyone to co-sign the negative part. Okay, Rob, what's up, family? You didn't need that. You didn't need anyone to co-sign the negative stuff, but you needed someone to co-sign all the positive stuff. Come on, we got to do better. Family, what's up? What up? What up? What up? Yeah, we have to do better. So we're talking about my favorite subject, which ultimately is personal responsibility, and we're talking about the illusions of the things that are in our way. We have these illusions in our head, and we create these things. Um, my folks in the building, I appreciate y'all so much, and we have these. We create these illusions in our head of the people, places, and things that are stopping us from moving forward. And I'm saying, nah, those things are garbage. those those things don't even exist for real. And we're talking about, oh look, Johnny and Paul, I know y'all can attest to this one, right? People always need confirmation when it's something good, when it's something positive. You need 17 confirmations to apply for that job. You need 17 confirmations to do this, to do that positive thing, to push yourself to go to the next level. But you don't need no confirmation about the negative stuff. Anyway, so we're talking about challenging those beliefs, right? Challenging those beliefs and those ideas that we have about ourselves, that that we keep ourselves in a box, right? And we talked about change your story, change your life. And if we would challenge the stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves, we can literally transform our lives. There's literally nothing stopping us from taking that next right step. Literally nothing, except for what? Oh, that was another one. What? That was fancy. That was like mature. What? The only thing stopping us from taking the next right step is the story that we tell ourselves about ourselves, the story that we tell ourselves about what we're capable of, the story that we tell ourselves about what's possible for us, the story that we tell ourselves about our own worthiness, the story that we tell ourselves about us not deserving, the story that we tell ourselves about not being enough. Most of us won't move forward because we have this I'm not enough complex going on. We feel like if we do another one of these and another one of these, I've been there. I need to read a couple more books, and I need to do this and I need to do this. Then I'm going to be ready. And God said, "Boy, you've been ready. What? You was ready when you was on the block. And I was whispering in your ear, and I was making you uncomfortable. And you started to recognize and realize that, nah, this ain't it. There's more to life than this. You was ready then. I picked you when you was out in those streets raising hell. I didn't pick you when you got yourself together. You missed it. You missed it. Love you like I do. You missed it. And I'm like, oh wait, okay. See, you thought. Oh wait. You thought God was waiting on you to get everything together and become this perfect version of yourself before He was going to call you. And have you ever opened the Bible? Clearly, you haven't. I used to challenge people. I used to say, "So you." I could tell you. I could tell you ain't in your word. I could tell you ain't studying. Because what are you talking about? I could tell you ain't paying attention in service. Because what story aligns with this? What are you talking about? But we walk around with this complex. This, I'm not worthy. I call them the destroyers of men. I'm not capable. I'm not worthy. I'm not enough. And we tell ourselves strange things like, well, I'm not worthy because, and then we have a list of all the times we got it wrong, all the times we lied, cheated, stole, we cut corners, we did it wrong. And now we somehow believe